LOLA, first of its kind concert event. We're so happy to be at this moment and really, really grateful that we get to share this event with you. Thank you for choosing to spend time with us. Tonight is a celebration of art, community, and what we have been able to do together through LOLA, Local Opera, Local Artists, for nearly 10 years. I think we were children when we started this. It's our honor and privilege to serve this community and to engage with such incredibly gifted and highly skilled artists. All possible because of you and your support. Our first project ever was La Femme Bohème, an all-female version of La Bohème. Some of you were there. And it took place just a few blocks north of here in East Austin at the North Door, which is now the parish. And across the street, there was ample free parking. And now it is a hybrid Target Whole Foods. Yes. So we've come a long way, but we're going to be engaging tonight with some artists that are new, making their LOLA debuts, and also some folks that have been with us for 10 full years. So thank you so much for being here, and I'm going to pass it on to the art. Oh, I didn't even introduce myself. My name is Liz Cass. I'm the executive producer and one of the founders of LOLA, along with my very good friend, artistic producer and founder, Rebecca Herman.
Thank you so much for being here. We're so grateful for your support and for the concert that you are about to hear. We have an amazing lineup. The artists that you will hear tonight are all from Central Texas and are mostly based right here in Austin. That's one of our prime directives with LOLA, and we're so thrilled to be able to work with such excellent musicians from all walks of life. We've worked with some of these artists, as Liz said, for nearly 10 years, and for some it is their debut. The chosen theme for tonight's program came from the new opera, Undina Speaks, that we premiered earlier this year, and Keith Allegretti and Amy Herman have added a new movement, so we'll hear that today, so it will be a new debut with the full work now. You'll hear some classics, you'll also hear some new works that are probably new to you, and even some folksy guitar and microphone singing. So we have a lot in store for you, but all of the pieces have the theme of water or Undina or water spirits in some way to tie it all together. And now I'm going to hand the microphone over to our interim board president, Caitlin.
Hi everyone, welcome. Thank you so much to Liz and Rebecca for teeing up a beautiful concert. Can we just give them one more round of applause for all their efforts? It's been such a pleasure getting to know the LOLA team over the last year, and certainly, for all of you who are in the room, you've already demonstrated your commitment to making sure that opera and other forms of art in Austin really thrive, especially as Liz mentioned, the city is changing really quickly, and so we're here to meet that need and to build a new community and support those who've been doing the work for a long time. So I want to make sure to ask you to invest and to continue to invest your time and your talent and your resources, but also your money in an organization like this. It is the future of opera, it is the future of classical music. Your contributions sustain these incredible artists, our quality of life, and certainly, like I said, ongoing art in Central Texas. And so as part of tonight's concert, we are launching an amazing new program at LOLA, which we are calling our LOLA Leaders. Such a wonderful pun, I love it. And this is our monthly giving program. So monthly giving is a really powerful way to make a really small dent in your personal budget, but to be able to contribute on a consistent basis so that LOLA has a sustainable budget from which to be able to put on concerts like this one. So I myself am making a commitment to sign on as a
sponsors who have made this evening possible: Martha Rochelle, Daryl Fox and Hutan Katami, Heather and Reed Arnos, Caitlin Newman and Oscar Alarcon, Dan and Diana Dorn, Laura Evans and Margot Marshall, Karen Kinney Herman and Maury Herman, Michael Herman, David Wheeler, Carolyn Metzner, Kim Caldwell, KMFA, the Armstrong Community Music School, Tito's, Rambler Sparkling Water, and the City of Austin Cultural Arts Division.
On the back of your program, you will find QR codes that take you to wonderful lands. One of the QR codes will take you to our website where you can learn more about the artists that you're seeing tonight. Also song texts for some of the pieces tonight you will find on our website and the full program. Also, you will be able to become a LOLA leader if you want to adventure down that QR code rabbit hole. Highly recommend. So both are found on the back of your program. And of course, we'll be around all night long to talk to you about this program and much, much more about what we are doing. So now, without further ado, it is my pleasure to welcome to the stage two of Austin's shining stars. Soprano Julia Taylor, who was in our very first production as Mimi in La Femme Bohème, and Andre Zimbalist, who is making his LOLA debut tonight, followed by Scott Clark, a LOLA favorite based in Houston, Texas, and also making his debut from Waco, the fabulous J. Bradley Baker. We hope you enjoy the show.
durch den Wald, der Wald ist lang, du bist allein, du schöne Braut, ich führ dich heim. Groß ist der Männer Trug und List, vor Schmerz mein Herz gebrochen ist. Voll ist das Waldhorn her und hin, o flieh, du weißt nicht, wer ich bin. So reich geschmückt ist Ros und Weiß, so wunderschön, der junge Leib. Jetzt kenn ich dich, Gott steh mir bei, du bist die Hexe Lorelei. Du kennst mich voll, von hohem Stein schaut still mein Schloss tief in dem Rhein. Es ist schon spät, es ist schon kalt. Kommst du nimmermehr aus diesem Wald, nimmermehr aus diesem Wald.
As you can see, we have some talented folks in our community. I'm very excited about the next 4 extraordinary artists that we are showcasing. We're going to be showcasing 2 very distinct and unexpected styles in this next set. First up, we have famed mezzo-soprano Jill Grove and pianist Brad Baker performing The Seal Man by Rebecca Clark, followed by another modern piece in a different style, Undine by Laura Marling, performed by our versatile artists Chris Danny and Anthony Bassini. One of the things that is so incredible about this community is that we get artists from all over that are classically trained and then get to work with other indie artists and explore other sides of their repertoire, and all of a sudden are making albums and recording with an indie guitarist and writing songs. And Lola is really fortunate to be able to feature not only our amazing classical music and modern classical music, but also support these artists in all of the things that they are trying to accomplish. Jill Grove, I first met Jill when I was working at Des Moines. We were not working on the same opera, but as you will see in a second, she is larger than life and an amazing personality and singer. And then I had the pleasure of renting out my guest room to her a couple of years ago, and we've been very good friends ever since. She is new to Austin, but is not new to opera at all. She's internationally renowned, and it really just gives me butterflies that we are here getting to hear her tonight. So I'll ask Jill to come and introduce herself and her piece.
Look, thank you so much. A microphone. I like a microphone. Hi, my name is Jill. Thank you so much for having me be a part of tonight. It's truly special. I was first introduced to Lola with the Lardo Weeping back in 2022, which was spectacular. I had never really seen anything like that, even though I've been 30 years on the opera stage, but that was something really special. And I just love the way that this organization kind of nurtures and not only nurtures the operatic art form, but tries to move it along, which we know it's a big ship, and we're trying to move it. It's tricky. So yeah, I just love it. I'm inspired to be here. I love it. And now The Seal Man by Rebecca Clark.
And he came by her cabin to the west of the road, calling. There was a strong love came up in her at that, and she put down her sewing on the table, and she says, there's no lock and no key and no bolt and no door. There's no iron nor no stone nor anything at all. Will keep me this a night from the man I love. And she went out into the says to her, you are all of the beauty of the world. Will you come where I go, over the waves of the sea? And she says to him, my treasure and my strength, she says, I would follow you on the frozen hills, my feet bleeding. Then they went down into the sea together. Track on the sea, and they walked down it. It was like a flame before them. There was no fear at all on her, only a great love. Wasn't a man at all. She was drowned, of course. It's like he never thought that she wouldn't bear the sea like himself.
my steps towards the water where Undine last was seen. I was told that if you saw her, she would make you more naive. Made my steps towards the shore where she sang her love at me. Oh, Undine, so sweet and pure, make me more naive. Oh, Undine, sing your love to me. Oh, Undine, no, not love as love is seen. There were ropes around my wrist, and the tide pulled at her hair, pulling her away from me, and me away from there. Yes, the water tried to take her, tried to make poor Undine hide, but she fought herself against it, loving her and not yet died. Oh, Undine, sing your love to me. Oh, Undine, fight your way, fight your way. You live for the sea, Undine. You live for the sea. You cannot, you cannot. What's going on in there? What's going on in there? Let me in. It was cold there in December, so I took my coat and left Undine by the embers. That's all our fire had left Undine by the shore, where she sang her love at me. Oh, Undine, I shook and swore, no, not love as love is seen. You live for the sea, Undine. You live for the sea. You cannot, you cannot. What's going on in there? What's going on in there? Let me in. You live for the sea, Undine. You live for the sea. You cannot, you cannot. You cannot love me.
So when LOLA started about 10 years ago, we really had a passion for reimagining classic works. But now our passion for championing new works by locally based composers has become increasingly important to us. And it's something that we find vital for this art form, and we also find it to be joyfully collaborative. There is nothing better than making art with your friends and making new friends through art. This spring, LOLA will present a workshop performance of the new Spanish language operetta Un Cuento de Luces y Sombras by Carlos Cordero and Germán Barbosa. And we are so fortunate to have Austin resident and composer Carlos Cordero here with us tonight to talk about this show.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. Let me tell you the incredible opportunity that it is, because as we were seeing here, a lot of things are changing, and also how LOLA is offering a space for the opera not only to exist here in times that we need so much. This opera is about racism through the lens of a fantastic story or a magical story, and it is rare for a composer that we get to revise something in such depth. So in this case, the work as we're working right now, and as we will get to work next year, is growing in drama, artistically, is growing so much that I'm very excited for the opportunity to take this story that, just to give you a little peek to the story, imagine the world of the light and the shadows, and the world is divided right in half. People from the light cannot go to the shadows, and the shadows cannot go to a light. The repeating phrase of the opera is, this is how things are supposed to be. But then we have the characters who start to wonder, what if we don't do the things how they are always supposed to be? What else is out there? And I think Lola is really giving us a space to really challenge that.
Thank you, Carlos.
This workshop will take place March 21st, 22nd, and 23rd of 2024, so mark your calendars. It's going to be at the Ground Floor Theater. And now it is my pleasure to welcome back to the stage the amazing Andre Zimbalist.
I am so lucky to work with many composers and librettists as they create new works. And as Liz mentioned, the creation of new works is something that over the years Lola has become more and more passionate about. This next piece is very special. We've been working with Keith Allegretti and Amy Herman on this for at least a year. Last fall, we were approached by a new local music collective, Tetractus, to co-commission a piece for the launch of their mega collaboration event, Here Be Monsters. If you're catching a theme, we really like collaborations and local community initiatives here at LOLA. So Here Be Monsters involved 15 music organizations from Austin participating in a concert event that featured several world premieres, including Undina Speaks. Undina Speaks was one of those premieres and that played to a full house. Since then, as I mentioned earlier, Keith and Amy have been working on a couple of revisions and adding an extra movement that they had to cut out for time restraints in the original premiere. So I'm not sure that many of you know what goes into creating a new piece. So we're gonna have Keith and Amy come up and talk a little bit about their process. And then Amy is gonna do reading an excerpt from the translation of Ingeborg Bachmann's Undine Gate, which is what she translated and used her own translation to then create her libretto. So Keith and Amy, if you would like to come up.
All right, thank you. Hi, I'm Keith. I am very excited to show you this piece tonight. And I think I'll start with a story because I like telling stories. I'll keep it short. So this was a story from my first day actually at Michigan, where I did my master's degree. I was there in the composition seminar, and professor got up, and I thought he was going to say something boring, like here's where we meet, here's our curriculum, and so forth. But he went into a long description about canaries in a coal mine. And I was like, well, what's that? Didn't I come here to learn composition? Why are you talking about canaries in a coal mine? And I don't know if he didn't explain the metaphor, if I just wasn't listening to his explanation, but it took me a long time to actually appreciate what he was saying. What he was saying was that artists are the canaries in the coal mine. We're the first ones to show symptoms of a declining society. And you think about school's budget, for example, art's the first thing on the chopping block. Okay, so what does this have to do with Undina Speaks, this piece that you're gonna hear? It's about a water sprite, mermaid, same sort of character we've been singing about all night. And she's going into the water. It's based on a story by a German writer named Ingeborg Bachmann. And the mermaid's going into the water, she's been on the land, had enough of people. Saying, peace out, I won't go in the water. And a little more eloquently than that. And when you look at what Ingeborg Bachmann said about this piece, I think this connection with the canary in the coal mine becomes clear, at least to my mind. She says, this is actually a piece about art. This is a piece where that mermaid represents art, and we have rejected her. And so we have this other character up here. His name's John. He's just a guy named John, performed by Scott Clark. Oh, and Undina, by the way, is Icy. She's beautiful job of Undina. So Scott plays the character named John, and John is all of us. And I think when I read this story, it felt like there's this mirror up to my face and showing me, you and all of us, you are complicit in rejecting art. Or to use, I guess, Ingeborg Bachmann's metaphor, when Undina's head is submerged underwater, she's not coming back. And I realized that's kind of a downer way to end my talk. So I'm going to say I'm really, on an upbeat note, I'm really excited to show you this. These guys have put in a lot of really good work on the piece. And I'm going to hand it off to Amy, who will talk about her translation a little bit.
Thank you. So I'll read a little excerpt of my translation. This is where Undina talks to humans, to John, but to all humans, about her call. She reminds them that they actually are called to art and that they actually called her to them. So enjoy. If you repeat the same mistake over and over until it defines you, what use is it then to be washed with all the waters of the world, with the waters of the Danube and the Rhine, the Tiber and the Nile, the icy waters of the Arctics, the dark waters of the open seas, even the enchanted waters of lakes and ponds? Some human women, the fiery ones, comment acerbically and glare daggers from their eyes. Other human women, the meek ones, let a few tears fall silently while continuing about their work. But the men make no comment. They fondly smooth their wives' and children's hair, open a newspaper, pay bills, or turn the radio up, all the while hearing the whisper of seashells, the fanfare of the wind. Later, when the house is dark, they get up in secret, open the door and listen for something down the hall, in the yard, down the street. All at once, they hear it clearly. The siren call, a tormenting melody, distant and spectral, calling, "Come, come, just once, come." My laughter has long moved waters, a gurgling laughter that you sometimes imitate with terror in the night. Because you've always known that your life is laughable and terrible. You've always known that although you were contented with your lives, you were also never quite on board with your lives. That's why it's better not to get up in the night, not to go down the hall, not to listen on the porch or in the yard. That would be admitting that above all, you are seduced by the tormenting melody of the siren call. The sound allures you and you long for it, the great betrayal. You were always at odds with yourselves, at odds with your houses and the commitment they stand for. You were secretly happy about every tile that flew off the roof and every creak that threatened collapse. You loved toying with thoughts of fiasco, flight, disgrace, thinking about the loneliness that would have freed you from your circumstances. You toyed with these thoughts all too gladly. When I came, announced by a breath of wind, you sprang up, knowing that the hour was near, the hour of disgrace, exile, ruin, an incomprehensible act, the call to your own undoing, the call to the end. Monsters, I loved you for that you knew what the call meant, that you let yourselves be called, that you didn't fully consent to your life. And me, when did I ever consent to my life? My clearing would materialize when you were alone, completely alone, nothing useful or practical in your head. The room lit with a single low lamp, damp and smoky. You stood there lost, lost forever, lost in your own understanding. That was my cue. I could enter with a look that demanded, think, be, express yourself.
Thank you, Amy and Keith. It is now my pleasure to welcome to the stage Scott Clark, Brad Baker, Jordan Walsh, and the originator of Undina in Undina Speaks, Icy Monroe.
But I couldn't eat freedom, and freedom didn't pay for a place to live. You tempted me with freedom, but I couldn't eat freedom, and freedom didn't pay for a place to live. Nothing sturdy lasts underwater, a nest would get swept away. Pier and beam would crumble, crumble in the clay. You tempted me with truth, but the truth didn't make me famous, and no one cared what I had to say. It didn't make me famous, and no one cared what I had to say. Nothing sturdy lasts underwater, a nest would get swept away. Pier and beam would crumble, crumble in the clay. You tempted me with power to banish time and death, to banish time and death. But when the baby started crying, time didn't stop, and death was waiting anyway. Nothing sturdy lasts underwater, a nest would get swept away. Pier and beam would crumble, crumble in the clay. Wealth is freedom. Wealth is truth. Wealth is power.
Just once,
Wealth is freedom. Wealth is truth. Wealth is power. Wealth is freedom. Wealth is truth. Wealth is
humans, you monsters, you treat me into this world, you called me here, you were thirsty for water, your soul poured out to me. You
How brave of you to reject me in front of your highest authorities. In front of your highest authorities. To nail down everything uncertain in yourselves, so you feel secure. To nail down everything uncertain in yourselves, so you feel secure, secure. When you sacrificed me, when you sacrificed me, how did you enjoy the taste, the taste, the taste, the taste of my voicelessness? Yet see myself staring back. If we must part, let it be on good terms. After all, I loved you. After all, the waters of the world have washed away all traces of you. I will love you I won't forget your hands holding a tiny fragile bird, willing it to grow strong, nursing it to health. This is perhaps to be praised. Forget your mind, bent over your machines, inventing new ways to connect the world. This is perhaps to be praised. I won't forget your words. I won't forget your words. Striving against your own silence. Striving against your own silence. Speaking of humans, their deeds, their bondage, you are so close to the truth, murderously close to the truth.
Well, what a beautiful evening of music making. And it's, it's just amazing that we can all make this happen together. Again, I appreciate your support. Thank you so much to our sponsors, to KMFA, and to the City of Austin for making this possible. You know, this concert would not have been nearly as good without the support of many, many people, so thank you so much. We've already spoken about the QR codes, so you know where those are located, right? We're going to have some sips and nibbles after the concert. Also, if you want to stick around and talk to some of the artists, that would be a lot of fun. And so now it's my pleasure to welcome back to the stage Julia Taylor and Andre Zimbalist to sing and perform and play our very last piece of the evening. So welcome back. I think Julia has some things to say too. Come on up here.
I just love Liz so much, and I love Lola. I've loved working with Lola over the past several years and a decade. What? And just seeing how Lola has grown and all of the cool projects that you've brought to Austin and the artists that you've brought to Austin, and I'm so thankful to the people that are here this evening. There are so many things for you to do in Austin, and you're here with us, and I'm so grateful to be able to be here and sing with Lola again. So we're gonna do Song to the Moon. Does that sound good?
That sounds great.
Yeah.
And yay, and another very special thank you to my partner in this endeavor for the last 10 years, our artistic producer, Rebecca Herman. Now, I'll get out of the way so you can enjoy some Sublime Beauty.
Oh,